Hi, everybody. Welcome to It May Interest You to Know. I'm Tony Marcolini. I'm joined today with my co-host, Seamus McDonough, and we have with us a very special guest today. I'd like to welcome to the podcast, Santa Claus. Hi,
how are you?
We're good. How are you today, Santa?
Doing well. Hello, Seamus. How are you?
Still breathing, Santa. Thank you.
Very good.
So Santa, Seamus and I thank you for making time to be here with us today. I know this is your busy season.
Mm-hmm. Extremely busy.
So you're starting to get all the gifts together for the kids?
We've actually started to do that back in June, believe it or not. At this point, we're just finalizing the naughty and nice list, and we're just plugging right away. Every single day, my elves and I work very, very hard.
So I was wondering, Santa, what involvement do you have in the making of like Christmas movies and cartoons?
Well, believe it or not, Tony, very, very little. They rarely consult us. It's mainly more, how do you say, the folklore of me and what people know about me and what we do. But I do enjoy seeing the movies and everything, but it's pretty accurate. There are some things, though, that they don't know, and I'll never tell.
What about Elf Santa?
Elf?
The Will Ferrell movie.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Was there really a big elf in the North Pole, or was it all made up?
Why, of course, Buddy. Buddy was a very, very real person, and he lived with me for many, many years.
Did Will Ferrell ever get to meet him, though?
Oh, absolutely.
So Will Ferrell literally got to hang out with the real Buddy.
That's correct. I arranged the meeting myself.
You eat normal foods there? Isn't it all candy and cookies?
Oh, not all candy and cookies. Believe it or not, my favorite vegetable is broccoli. I tend to have broccoli with every meal, whether it's in an omelet, at lunch, or at dinner.
So you didn't get your belly from gingerbread cookies alone?
No. There's good eating from Mrs. Claus.
Santa, how do you do such a good job of keeping everything secret?
Well, if I told you that, then what kind of secret would that be? I will say that maybe I really shouldn't say. Mrs. Claus is always telling me less is more.
She's very
Who's
smart.
your daddy?
Who is my daddy? Well, as most of you know, I was raised by elves. The elves, I just appeared at the doorstep of the North Pole one morning, and I was very young. I didn't even know. So all of the elves, they were essentially my daddy and mommy.
So you were an orphan then?
That's correct.
Huh. They work for 1 day a year.
I work 365 days a year, but the big one, that is the big one. That's where I really work.
Wow.
And that's like it's got to be 48 hours or so straight, doesn't it? I mean, in
Oh,
reality,
yeah.
Because it's not all 12,
gets
it's not all midnight like it is here, like all the different time
Right.
zones that there are. You must be going for about 2 days.
Oh, yes, with the time zones and everything, but somehow I get it done, as I've done for many years. Just
What's
like
your
when
favorite color?
Red.
That's
why I wore red today for Santa Claus.
Yes.
Me too, Santa. I wore red for you.
And I appreciate that.
Santa, we have some questions from some of the kids at World of Wonders Early Childcare Center in Brooklyn, New York. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to everybody there. So let me turn it over to the kids and let them start asking you questions.
Ciara, how many cookies does Santa eat on Christmas?
Come to think of it, I've never actually really counted. I just stop at a house, I see the plate of cookies, I eat the cookies, and off I go.
My name's Noah. Which reindeer is the fastest?
Well, of course it's Dasher. He doesn't get his name for being slow. He's the fastest in the team.
And the dad, Jenny. How does Santa watch every kid at one time?
I can't tell you all of my secrets, just know that I'm always watching.
How does Santa fan the chimney with the belly?
Well, it takes a little managing, but I could just wiggle on down and out I come.
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony. Shop at Target?
Well, do I shop at Target? Why, yes, I do. If a toy is in high demand and the elves can't build it because they either don't have the directions or really not certain how to do it, I'll either send somebody out or I'll go out myself to pick up that toy for that good child. And while I'm there, I usually check out their cookie selection and pick something up for the missus.
My name's Alani, and where does Santa live?
Where do you think I live? The North Pole, of course, and my driver's license says so.
They have Target at the North Pole?
Yes, we do. We actually have our own brand of Target. Not accessible to folks like yourself, but myself and the elves, we all shop there.
The elves.
Well, the elves live in their own little houses. We're in a very tight-knit group community. So we all live in close proximity to each other. We're a bit of a family, if you will.
Mommy.
What?
What? What?
Do?
What?
Reindeers?
Eat.
I can hear you.
Well, that's really easy. Anything green.
How old is Santa?
We don't talk about ages, the missus and I. We prefer to keep our age mystery.
I told you.
Hi.
I have a Christmas shot. Well, I know.
Ask the question. Ask the question. Ask Santa the question.
You gotta call me, Christy.
Let me go. I'm here for support. Okay. Go ahead. Where? Where does Santa? Go ahead. Go ahead. You can do it, David.
I didn't
If you don't do it, Santa is not coming to see you.
Where does Santa?
Hurry, so you get presents.
Where's Santa and food shopping?
Good. Good. Where does Santa go food shopping?
I just said it.
Well, I'm glad you asked that. There's actually a general store about a mile from my workshop. It's Maurice. He's one of my elves. He actually runs the general store. He has the best fresh grown vegetables, anything you can imagine. That is my particular favorite market.
Hi, Santa. This is Robert. I'm sure you remember me. I have a question. I'm wondering if this year we go with cash or gift cards, because in all honesty, you've been slacking on my presents the last few years. Let me show you. Last year, I received from you these wonderful compression socks. Although a great gift, not for Christmas, Santa. The year before that, we went with something just as nice, the sock assist vibe. Now, I know you're trying to give me a hint that I'm ready for the sock assist, but I'm actually not. So I was hoping maybe this year we do a little cash or gift card. What do you think, Santa? Please?
I have something very special for you. I have something planned. It's very, very special. You're going to have to wait until Christmas morning, and I know it's something you're definitely going to like.
So Santa, now we have some questions that were given to us by the kindergarten students at Southwood School in Old Bridge, New Jersey. So big shout out to the
Wonderful.
kindergarten kids there. And they wrote down little letters for you, Santa, with questions they had that they gave to Seamus and I, and we're going to read them to you. So the
Perfect.
first question up, Santa, is from Paisley, and Paisley wants to know, where do you live in the summer?
In the summer, I'm always at the North Pole, whether it's the summer or the winter. I don't do warm too well, and my skin is very fair and I burn very easily.
Me too. I'm Irish, very pale skin. Now, Diego wants to know, what do you eat? Because you have that big belly.
Well, it's mostly cookies, but a lot of it is Mrs. Claus's good cooking. I can never get enough of her cooking.
Santa, Marcus wants to know, what do you do on Christmas with your kids?
Well, as soon as I get home, I do what every other parent does, and I spend time with my kids. We open up presents, we sing Christmas carols, and then later on in the evening, we'll have our turkey.
Wow. Chloe wants to know, do you have kids?
Yes, but myself and Mrs. Claus have kept them out of the public eye. We're okay with being who we are, but we want our kids to live without the cameras and such.
Ilana wants to know, does Rudolph really have a red nose?
Oh my, yes, yes, very, very red, very bright. And let me tell you, he helps me every Christmas season.
Did he really get made fun of a lot, Santa? Just a follow-up question.
Truth be told, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Just like the song and just like the movie, it's all true.
My friend's son Mason wants to know, do you have a big toy box with all the toys in it?
Oh, yes, indeed. We have a big storage bin, everything in the workshop, and I'd love to take you there, but I can't because it's something we don't do here, and we've been doing it this way for many, many years, but I can describe it to you. We have a big storage area full of all the toys. Everything is all alphabetical, by boy, by girl. That's where we keep all the toys.
So Catherine Santa wants to know, does Mrs. Claus really bake cookies?
Oh my goodness, yes. She is the best baker. I've tried many, many bakeries. She is by far the best baker. There's only one baker that I actually like other than Mrs. Claus. Shh, don't tell her, but the baker's from New Jersey.
Wow. Is there a particular bakery that you go to when you're in New Jersey, Santa?
Well, it's right in Old Bridge, I will tell you that. It is called Dolce and Clemente.
Oh, so a shout out. That's your favorite one when you stop in New Jersey on, well, let's give a shout out to them then.
Yes, yes.
So Santa comes to your bake. Now, when you go into a bake shop like that, I mean, do you sneak it in the back door? I don't imagine you walk right in the front door.
Well, I can honestly say when I'm out and about and I'm checking on the children, they'll never know who I am.
Ah, so you can go right into the bakery, and you've done that then. You've gone right into the bakery and just got yourself a couple of cookies.
I can. But that's enough on that. I don't want to say too much.
Okay.
Let's move on to Zoe's question.
Yeah.
Zoe's an aspiring stylist. She wants to know, besides what you're wearing right now, do you have any real clothes? Not that these aren't real clothes, but you know.
Oh yes, I wear jeans and plaid shirts. I mostly stick to the reds, as far as the shirts. But we see here in the movies, that this is my formal wear. You know how you would go to a wedding and you'd wear, a dress or a shirt and tie. This is my formal wear, and since when I'm around other people, this is what I prefer to wear. If I'm in my workshop, I wear just normal clothes.
So Declan wants to know, Santa, do you have a dog?
Oh, why, yes, I do. He is a golden doodle. He's very furry. His name is Zeus, and he has, I don't know if you've ever seen a golden doodle, but he has curly hair, and he is just the best.
Veronica wants to know if you can bring her toys when she's up so she can see you.
Well, Veronica, Christmas Eve is a very, very busy time for me. And although I'd love to see you and talk with you, I wouldn't be able to take the time to visit the other children's houses to leave them their toys, because I'm sure that I'd just love to talk to you all night long. But you need your rest too.
I have a question now from Tommy John, the baseball pitcher. He wants to know, who's your favorite baseball team?
But my favorite team would have to be, well, our home team, of course, from the North Pole. They call themselves the Elves. It's actually a very original name.
Maria has arrived.
I have. Hi, Santa.
There.
Santa, we have some other questions for you from France. We got some children from France. They sent us some questions. So I will do the first one. This is from Nomi, and she wants to know, what is your favorite toy to make, Santa?
Oh, my favorite toy to make? All of them, of course. You can't have just one.
All right, I'm going to turn over to Maria. Maria, can you read one of the questions that we got from France?
Sure. I have one from Pierre, and he wants to know if you sleep with your boots on.
If I sleep with my boots on, my bed sheets would be dirty.
Oh,
Your shoes on?
So we have a question from Malik from France who wants to know, what's your favorite snack?
Well, my favorite snack other than cookies, you're never going to believe this. I know I've said it earlier, but it's broccoli. I love broccoli. It tastes so good. It's nutritious. It helps me to get big and strong, and it gives me a lot of energy, believe it or not. Broccoli, you'd never think it. They look like little trees.
So Santa, what's your favorite book to read?
Anything I can color in, of course. I love coloring, doodling, and mainly the elves. You know, I color with them all the time.
Nice.
Red elves.
Red elves. Seamus thinks he can be an elf just by wearing red, but it doesn't work that way.
I think I'm going to have a talk with Seamus when we're done here. I might have a job for him.
What happens if a child, let's say, wanted to catch you and like refused to go to sleep all night just so that they can catch you coming in?
Well, in the old days, it was very easy for a child to do so. But as technology evolved and the elves became much smarter, my elf Tinsel, he's the head of my technology department. He came up with a little way for me to know which child is sleeping and which isn't. It's called the Sleep Detector 3000. So what I do is I'll put it on. It's built right into the sleigh. And as I'm flying over the city or the town, it'll show me which child is sleeping and which one isn't. So if it comes up as red for the house, I just bypass the house.
Wow. So there's no catching Santa. What happens if when you're there, you come down the chimney, you're putting the toys down, and then one of the kids wakes up and then comes downstairs?
With a touch the nose, quick a dash, I'm out.
What's the difference between a cat and a comma?
A catch and a comma? I don't know.
A cat
Oh.
has claws at the end of its paws, and a comma is a pause at the end of a clause.
That's a very good one. Very good.
So I
it.
should warn you, Santa, that Seamus considers himself a bit of a joke teller. And he usually starts at the pinnacle. Like he starts at the best joke he has, and you can't get him started because they all
Well,
just.
he's always been that ever since he was a little boy.
Thank you, Santa. What do you get when a snobby prisoner takes the elevator?
I don't know.
A condescending.
Santa, how soon do you start before Christmas making all the toys?
Well, believe it or not, we start making the toys on December 26th. And I was explaining before you came on, we pretty much have everything ready to go by June. And we just start to finalize our list right before Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving, my list is finalized and I know who's getting presents and who's not.
You still give out coal to the bad kids?
Coal is in high demand, so I believed that if I do give coal, it might be put to good use. So I just try not to leave anything. Years ago, coal was a bad thing.
Now we see a lot of you. Although there was that one cartoon where you were there with, they showed you young. Remember, you had red hair in it, and they showed you meeting Mrs. Claus. But was it like love at first sight?
It was indeed, but I'll tell you what, the movies have it all wrong. We met at the peppermint dance, and it wasn't how it was portrayed in the movie. And yes, it was love at first sight.
Oh, so sweet.
Where's Mrs. Claus? Where's she from?
Where is she from? Originally, she is from Norway.
Do you guys speak other? Do you speak other languages?
I can't tell you.
Why do you shy away from press so much?
Best way I can put it was the movie The Santa Claus, actually. seeing isn't believing, and believing isn't seeing. So if you believe in me, doesn't necessarily mean you have to see me. And the reason why I'm doing this with you is this is my one freebie.
Wow. And when I heard that when the elves take pictures of themselves, selfies, they call it an elfie.
An elfie, correct. Yes, that's correct.
How'd you find that out, Seamus?
I'm not telling you.
It's so wrong.
There's a new restaurant on my blog
Okay.
called Karma.
Called what? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Called Karma.
Karma?
Yeah, they have no menus. Everyone just gets what they deserve.
Oh boy.
I believe
think I
Santa's
want-
going to get you a joke book for Christmas.
A new one. A good one.
Joke book.
Because Seamus has these set of jokes that he tells a lot. And I keep hoping every week, Santa, we hope for the best that they're gonna, reach new levels.
I wouldn't hold your breath, Tony.
So tell us about Seamus. I mean, since wow, you're in a position, Santa, to tell us about Seamus and Maria and myself when we were young.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell us some stories about Seamus?
I could, but that might be a little embarrassing, and it's almost like when you talk to somebody and you have a lot of confidence in them. I would never tell anybody about him when he was younger. It's just it's a secret.
Thank you, Santa. I'll do the same for you.
Yeah, thank you, Santa. You dodged that bullet, Seamus. Santa, do you keep if you keep the North Pole decorated all year round?
Oh, absolutely. This is the one room at the North Pole that is not decorated. This is actually our legal room. This is where everything is fine-tuned with when we talk to lawyers and stuff for movie deals, non-disclosure agreements. This is that room. And I'd love to show you. It's a big room. It has tables. There's actually a plate of cookies right over there that I'm going to be having after we're done. But this is our room. This is the only room in the whole North Pole that is not decorated.
So there's a Christmas tree up like February 2nd. I mean, there's still the Christmas trees. There's still all the decorations, the lights and everything.
Absolutely. It's always Christmas here at the North Pole.
Wow. Santa, do you think there'll ever come a time where you'll open the North Pole up for visitors that people can, like touristy, can rent a hotel room, rent a motel or hotel and come there and actually be part of the North Pole and visit?
That's actually a very good question, and I've had a couple other people ask me that. At this time, I'm not certain. I'd have to do a lot of thinking of it. I also think that if I were to do that, it would take away. It would take away from all the dreaming that the children, that the children do about what it looks like, and the magic will be gone.
Santa, what's your favorite Christmas song?
What's my favorite Christmas song? All of them? All of them?
Santa doesn't
No.
like to pick out favorites. I noticed he doesn't want to. I guess he doesn't want to slight the other things. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. That says a lot about you, Santa.
Do you like that Bob Geldof song? Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
I do like that song very much so.
Me too, yeah. Mijur and Bob Geldof, they did it their a charity thing to raise money for starving kids in Africa, I think it was, yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Santa, do you guys sing Christmas carols throughout the year too, or is that just for Christmas?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Much like the movie Elf, there's always singing at the North Pole, despite what anybody says. Everybody always sings at the North Pole. Especially
Is Will Ferrell a good singer?
he's a good drummer. I have seen him play drums on the internet and in person. but I don't know about his singing. I don't know. I think he can go a little bit better with his singing.
Now, does Buddy the Elf still come back and visit you with his family?
He'll come from time to time. He'll drop in on his birthday or my birthday, but not very much. He does not want to be followed, but also too, it helps that he doesn't look like the Buddy the Elf from the movie. He wears normal clothes, and he doesn't look anything like Will Ferrell, which is the reason why I wanted Will Ferrell to play the part.
Oh, so they did let you have a little say in picking out Buddy the Elf. I guess with you consulting on the movie, they did give you a little bit of control like that.
That was the only thing I wanted control over. And I told them, I said, as far as the rest of the movie goes, you can do what you want. Just make sure that, the good name of the North Pole and Santa Claus is not tarnished.
And when you wanted them to make sure they picked out an actor that didn't look like the real Buddy, I guess for obvious reasons, right? Because the real Buddy doesn't want his identity discovered.
Exactly. Like witness protection.
Yeah, I suppose so.
The market of cryptocurrency, Santa.
Oh, no. We have our own currency up here at the North Pole. So there's no need for me to actually, you know what, Seamus, I'll actually show you. So we do have, we have the First Elves Bank there. I don't want you to see the number, but that is my credit card. And then, oh, jingle bells, I don't have any dollars on me. But I do have other cards. This is from the Bank of St. Nicholas, and then the North Pole Bank, and then the Kringle Bank. Yeah, we do have our own currency up here.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't do the crypto. We figured we would leave that for you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out you had a driver's license. I mean, is that from the regular Department of Motor Vehicles, or do you have your own department up there?
It's actually really not a driver's license. It's a sleigh driver's license. So anybody who drives a sleigh up here is required to have one of these. And that picture is probably one of my best pictures. That was probably about my thinnest. Yeah, so everybody who lives up here has to have a license, just as you would, driving a car or a bus or an airplane. This is my license for sleigh. Now, the only endorsement on here would be that my sleigh can fly. My sleigh is the only sleigh that is able to be flown. The rest of the sleighs all have to be on the ground.
So
I used to drive, not a sleigh, but I used to drive a horse and carriage in Central Park.
Okay.
So it's kind of similar.
Yes, very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever tipped over the carriage?
Once, years and years ago. One of my very first times driving it. But that was before I knew how to do any of this.
Wow. And how many reindeer pull the wagon?
Well,
Sleigh.
depends on who you talk to. Some say 8, some say 9, but I can tell you there is 9, and the 9th is Rudolph. Some books depict it as 8, but those books were written a long time ago, you see, and that's why it was 8. And when I got Rudolph, it became 9.
Wow.
So, like when you go, before you said that you use a market, you buy your food at like a general store about a mile away. I mean, how do you don't drive a car there? You drive the sleigh?
We have another sleigh. The sleigh that is depicted in movies and that everybody knows me for. That's usually for the big day. We do have another sleigh that we'll use horses for. I try not to bother the reindeer because they're trying to every day they get their energy for the big night. It's like their Super Bowl. One night out of the whole year they have to be on their game. So I try not to bother them. So we'll use a horse and a sleigh, but not the sleigh, and that's how we get to the market.
And everybody else uses sleighs? Are there cars up there at the North Pole, or like the elves, everybody uses sleighs to get around?
Everybody uses a sleigh. Yep.
Cool. I want a sleigh.
They're fun. They're a lot of fun.
Do you guys do you ski and things like that at the North Pole?
Oh yes, yes, yeah. We ski, but we have to watch where we ski because there's always somebody trying to catch us. Just like a popular celebrity, there's always somebody with a camera. But there are secrets that we have that we don't want the general public to know. But I can tell you, you'll never catch us.
So, I mean, how do you keep from like helicopters flying over the North Pole? Right? I mean, celebrities, sometimes they get married and there's helicopters flying over the whole time. How do you avoid that?
Well, that much I can tell you. Just like the movie The Santa Claus, and again, this was something that I had given the writers to kind of put out there to give people a little bit of a taste. The North Pole is actually underground. That's why we'll never be caught. However, the only thing is you'll never know how to access the North Pole, the true North Pole.
You take a specific train to work?
I just walk down the steps. My workshop is right below where I sleep, myself and Mrs. Claus. So I like to be close to work. This one time, my elf Jingles he had an incident in the workshop, something with glitter and glue. It was a very sticky situation. But in the middle of the night, I had to go and help him. And I, at the time, was several houses down. And watching me run in my pajamas was a very horrifying sight to the rest of the elves. So I figured I'm going to live on top of the workshop.
Could you tell us a story about, any funny anecdotes you may have about the elves?
Let's see. Well, here's something for you. I realized that elves don't do well with spicy food. I don't know why, but it makes them sneeze a lot. And when they sneeze, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. That would be the last time we ever have spicy food before going to work. There's no work, no work was happening that day. It was terrible. I was the only one working.
Yeah. Now, do you and Mrs. Claus, do you have anything like a date night, and if so, what would you guys like to do?
Well, date night for us is every night. After I'm done with work, we have dinner. And then we'll talk about how our days were and everything. And, she'll tell me about things that, she has seen and stuff that she might want for Christmas. Little does she know, I already know this. She's married to me, of course. But sometimes we do see a movie. We do have a movie theater up here. And we do everything like, everybody else does.
So you have a movie theater up there. Boy, this town is getting bigger. You got a general store down the block. You got a Target. You got a movie theater. I really want to visit the North Pole.
Does Santa stand for Saint Claus?
Yes, actually, Santa Claus it came from Sinterklaas, and over the years it became Santa Claus. But my real name is Nicholas.
And you had red hair, just like they showed in the cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was white, it was red.
Correct.
We had he played Ralph Malph on Happy Days on the show.
Johnny Most. Yes.
Yeah, he has red hair.
Yes. My favorite bit. What is this? It's a spider doing push-ups. On a mirror. He was always my favorite. Ever since he was a little boy, always my favorite. Great guy.
Yeah, so did you actually see him on the podcast?
I did watch your podcast. Yes.
So Santa watched our podcast.
I do.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you get I guess cable or satellite or internet up there, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah. that must have been interesting. Did the elves install those poles, or did you let like Comcast come up there and do that?
No, we have deals with Comcast and Verizon and Optimum, and we all worked together because we don't. It was more or less the higher ups. We don't want, again, we want to keep our identity, hidden. So we all work together to kind of come up with a way that we can have our own internet, TV, and without anybody having to come out and install. And we had some of the very best come up and train our elves, but it wasn't at the North Pole. It was somewhere closer to the North Pole where they went and trained. So we do have our elves who are certified, to do cable and TV, electricians. We have electricians and plumbers and things like that.
I guess you use the elves who are less handy to do stuff like that, or not that good at manufacturing the toys.
No, everybody here is helpful in some way or another. But we do have elves who are, like you said, who are better at making toys. So we'll use, them to make the toys. We do have our own fire department and police department. My cousin Holly Claus, she's the police chief.
Wow. So you have a female police chief. Way to go, Santa.
Yep.
I'm wondering, Santa, what do you get for Christmas?
What do I get for Christmas? Well, I get the satisfaction that I made a whole bunch of children and adults happy.
I was wondering, Santa, you're flying by on the reindeer. You see a house you see someone down there that you want to have some presents for, and you circle the house and you realize there's no chimney on this house. How do I get in the house?
Well, Seamus, I'm glad you asked that. I have a magic key. This magic key, I can stick this in any door right now and it won't work. However, on December 24th, it will work on any house, any lock, anywhere that I'm supposed to leave presents, but it will only work for me. So if I happen to drop this and you pick it up, this is just an ordinary, looks like a trick key. So it won't work for you. But if I do lose it, my elves can actually have it back into the palm of my hand, another key, within about 15 seconds. And if the weather is bad, about 20 seconds.
Thank you, Santa.
There's a lot to this Santa thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Many years of very hard work and a lot of technology went into the past 20 years or so.
Sure, because before that, there wasn't really any technology to speak of, right? It was the old-fashioned way,
Right.
but it was probably a lot easier to hide, if you will, before there
yes.
were cameras and.
A lot less cameras, a lot less surveillance cameras. We do have a trick that we can do with surveillance cameras, but I was instructed by my cousin, the police chief, not to tell me what we have available to us. But just know that although you might not see me on your camera, your house is still safe.
That's
Oh, I
interesting.
didn't even think about that.
So, Santa, has anybody ever set any traps for you?
They've tried, but Santa is smart. Santa reads a lot of magazines, and Santa is in the know. You might try to trap me, but it's not going to happen. I can assure you that.
Oh.
Santa, have you ever got stuck when you're going down any chimney?
1 year, and then that was the year that I got my gym membership.
Okay.
Santa goes to the gym?
The North Pole gym, yes.
Wow.
Actually, last year I ran in the Candy Cane 500, the race.
Oh,
Yeah, I beat all the elves. I mean, their legs are a lot smaller than me, and it took me about 2.5 hours, but I still beat them.
does Mrs. Claus, besides baking, does she have a specific job at the North Pole, like with the whole process of gift giving and Christmas and the nice and naughty list? Is she in charge of something specific?
She is. She actually teaches school to the elves. Much like Buddy the Elf had, teachers and everything, she is the teacher for the elves. So when they're not working, they're learning about, current events in the world. They're learning about history pertaining to all countries, not just the U.S., but to France and Germany and Russia. They are learning all of that history from those countries. They learn mathematics, mainly because that was something I had implemented about 15 years ago, because I needed something shaved down about a quarter of an inch. And there was a lot of redoing that one. But anyway, beside the point, they learn all the stuff that a child would learn in school. And there's a lot to learn, especially with, different countries and stuff.
Wow. So the kids, when they have kids, the elf children actually go to school.
That's correct. That's correct.
And Mrs. Claus is in charge of that. Is she the only teacher, or is she just in charge of all the teachers?
She is the only teacher. The class size is actually not as big as you'd think. It's actually a very small class size. It's only about 150 students. But she teaches them.
You must be proud of her. That's cool.
Oh, mhm.
Which mountain has the most Christmas spirit?
Oh, I don't know.
Mount Snowdon.
Oh, you are definitely getting a book on jokes this year.
Yeah. I tried, right? I warn every guest, Santa. Every guest I warn. So, hey, welcome Anthony Crescenzo to the podcast. Thank you, Anthony, for popping in to say hello to Santa.
I'm appreciative of the fact that I even get to. So this is really nice.
Do you have a question for Santa?
Actually, I do. Actually, I do want to know from Santa, like, how long did it take to grow the beard out that long?
Oh, well, this was about a month and a half, actually.
Wow, that's quick.
Yeah, in the North Pole, we grow facial hair very quickly. It's very, very cold up here. It's something in our genes. We can just grow it real quick.
You wear jeans?
Oh, I do. Oh, you missed that portion. Yes, I wear jeans and plaid shirts and everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you ever
Bell bottoms. Bell bottoms.
I meant as in jeans, as in, your genetic makeup and everything. That's the reason why we can grow facial hair pretty quickly.
Oh, this is smart people talk. I'm already lost.
It's okay. I wear jeans, blue jeans. Yep. I got you.
Yeah, you did.
So, do you ever shave your beard, Santa? I mean, do you like grow it out again, or is this just what's been like this for years?
Every once in a while, I'll give it a good shave, but nothing too dramatic. A little bit shorter than this. That's about it.
Is there really a Fred Claus, or is that just a movie?
Well, that was just a movie. That was something that the writers had made up to, for good comedy.
They did a good job with it.
Well, we were talking, Anthony, before you came on, with how Santa sometimes does get consulted on some of the movies, but not all. He was definitely consulted on Elf, and had a little bit of creative control on that one. But I guess so some of them, yes, he did have something to do with, and they are accurate. But I gather, Santa, that sometimes we see one that's maybe not so nice, and maybe that's all made up and has nothing to do with you.
That's correct. I will never give any type of permission for anybody to tarnish the good name of the North Pole or myself, my elves, or Miss Claus.
Understood.
I kind of want to know. All right, so does Coca-Cola pay you a lot of money to do the commercials?
That's actually a very, very good question. With Coca-Cola, so there was the Santa that you see for Coca-Cola. The artist who drew him had actually asked for my input. So as you can see, my jacket resembles what that Coca-Cola Santa is. So that was my idea, and I had given it to the artist. He drew it, and I used that sketch and had this made up. Because before this, I had different jackets that I'd used, but this is my favorite one. I still have those other jackets, the one with the fur, and then I have one where it's just a robe. But this one is my favorite.
I think it looks good on you.
Why, thank you.
So, in other words, you were a little bit involved with the Coca-Cola. I mean, they use your image in a lot of ads. I mean, do they get permission for that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Coca-Cola happens to be one of my favorite soft drinks. The artist sat down with me and we sketched out something. He didn't want it to look too much like me. So he went a little bit, he exaggerated a little bit, but we both came up with this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you don't
That
really
is a
look
true
that
story.
fun.
You don't really
That's
look he doesn't
No.
look fat.
Pretty good.
Anthony.
Pretty
Good.
good.
I just like you see Santa, you like, you see all the cartoons, and you always assume it's like some fat guy, and it's like, no, he looks pretty good. You look pretty trim.
That's right.
That's why he goes to the gym.
That's
He
correct.
goes to the gym just to trim up.
That's correct.
Actually, do you mind if I ask you a question that's from my wife?
Sure.
Because she saw you in the video too. She wanted to know, what is your favorite workout? Like, you really do look like
Do things a little bit differently. I'm sure you are used to or have used a treadmill. We don't have a treadmill. So when we want to run stationary, it's like a treadmill, but it's ice. We just run. So a lot of times I'll get on the treadmill. A lot of times we have, it's almost like I don't know what you guys call it down there. It's where you go from station to station. You do different workouts. One of you guys help me out.
Interval training, yeah.
Yes, that's it. Ours is more or less Christmas related. So we have, you'll start, you'll run, you'll jump over the chimney, into the chimney, go down to the next level, eat a cookie, stuff like that.
Like an obstacle course?
Correct.
Like the candy canes along the way?
That's correct.
sounds like, I was just gonna say, that really does sound like a video game. I'm like, that is awesome. You should definitely sell that to Capcom.
Oh no, I can't tell you too much of my secrets, but I can tell you we do have a lot of fun up here.
Thank you so much, Santa,
You
for
are very
being
welcome.
here.
Anytime. I enjoyed talking with you all, answering the questions, especially the questions from the children. You guys are fantastic. And I can tell you, you are all wonderful. You are on the nice list, and keep doing what you're doing.
And Tony, this is personally for you. I wound up doing this after
2021.
I did a 5K after we had the other thing. But everybody, Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for listening.
Seamus and I want to thank the kindergarten class over at Southwood School in Old Bridge, New Jersey. We want to thank their teacher, Rita Soffing. We also want to thank the students over at World of Wonder Early Childcare Center in Brooklyn, New York. And shout out to Jeannine McKenna and also Miss Lauren for all they did to help us get today's podcast together and for all the children who participated. We also want to thank Jerry Plinio and our students from France who wrote us letters. Thank you everybody so much for making this podcast all it could be today. It's a rare opportunity that Santa comes out and talks to us and talks to anybody. So we're thrilled that he chose us to come talk to. So I want to say thank you, Santa, so much.
You're very welcome. Anytime. It was a pleasure.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas.